Hello, friends. This is Krista coming to you from the Pacific Northwest, here to talk about my grandfather's grooming techniques. This is a serious topic, and the image on the front of the Egyptian Sphinx will make sense as I dive into this topic a bit. So, my hope is that this story, a little bit of this story, would help, parents be aware of people that they leave in care of their children and what to look for. A few things. This is not by no means comprehensive. First off, I just want to say incest has been referred to as the hidden crime because it typically goes unreported. But just some brief stats: childhood sexual abuse is rampant in the United States and other countries in Europe and so on. With 1 in 3 girls reporting abuse before the age of 18 and 1 in 7 boys. Now, the stat about boys, I believe, is actually worse because boys are less inclined to report it than girls are. 60% of rapes are reported to occur in one's own home. 37% reporting abuse by a parent, and an additional 23% by a step-parent. Shockingly, it's estimated that more than 90% of all children of sexual abuse is perpetrated by family members, friends of family members, or other individuals that the children know. So this whole idea of stranger danger is kind of ridiculous. Yes, strangers are dangerous if they're trafficking children and want to abduct them. Yes, that's a real thing. But in terms of the daily abuse, 90% of children, sexually abused by people that are close to the family or in the family, that's staggering, and take note. Not only does this occur in the home and hidden in plain sight, but our current court system in 2023 demonstrates that it rewards perpetrators more than protector. Additionally, CPS, Child Protective Services, and organizations have been accused of blatantly trafficking children, and a whistleblower of a major U.S. organization came out about this in the past 2 months. My own experience of incest as it relates to the home was primarily connected to my grandfather and father. I should also state that my grandfather was a Freemason, and I'm unclear about my father's activity, if he was involved in any occultic group, although my father did serve some jail time and also has sealed court records. The thing to note about Freemasonry is that many of them are often pedophiles and will perform rituals on children that are incredibly evil. Lower levels of Freemasonry, new people to it may not have this level of exposure to the depths and darkness until they climb up the ladder to the higher levels in Masonry. One thing to note about Freemasonry is its involvement in occultic practices, and they often seem to love various forms of magic, and Egypt is one area that they like to use in rituals. So stay with me here, as this is tying together grooming. So the enemy's armies that went around Egypt and would destroy the nose off, say, the Sphinx or other statues, is a way to take away the power. So the nose is believed to be intelligent, to be related to knowledge or knowing, hence nose, knowing. There's no mistake why the English language has a lot of words like that with double meanings, even if they're spelled differently. Mainstream discussion about broken noses in Egypt state that it's a common cultural belief in ancient Egypt that once a body part on a monument was damaged, it cannot perform its purposes anymore. Therefore, a broken nose causes the spirit to stop breathing. In my understanding, it was removal of power on multiple levels. To take away knowledge leaves the subject powerless and enslaved. So my grandfather used to play this game called Got Your Nose, whereby he would grab my nose and then show his thumb in his hand and pretend he was doing some sort of magic trick. But what he was really doing is he was using this as a grooming technique fairly consistently when I visited him. And unfortunately, it was preparation to hold a child's nose, mine and others, to hold our nose and have children perform oral intercourse. So when I became a young adult, maybe around 20 years old, I had my first nose surgery to correct deviated septum and remove polyps from the nose. I also had all kinds of other health issues. Chronic health issues are really common for incest survivors. The body is intelligent and will react to things it knows is wrong, as will the child, but it will come out in ways, in other forms. Asthma, for instance, is something I also had on occasion. And asthma can be from helplessness and an inability to get out of a situation, not wanting the life, breath of life, not taking in full breaths, or unable to breathe, or holding your breath. When children are forced to do unspeakable things, they will develop issues that are health related, mental health, or the grades will suddenly drop, or they desire isolation. If a child does not desire friendships, look into why. The second grooming technique that they used, which I believe is still probably very common today, but I'm not watching for it, is rocking horses or being bounced on a knee. This is done to girls naturally for stimulation. They do this grooming early on to prime and prep the child to continue to enjoy this at an early age, to make it seem, to normalize it, to have it be okay from childhood into teenage years and adulthood. Obviously anyone in a beta program will have this used on them. Girls, I witnessed a girl when she was younger in my family like do something on like the arm of a couch, and maybe that's normal. Maybe some girls experiment, at 10 years old. I don't know, but I'm not a childhood family therapist. But the rocking horses and being bounced on a knee and other things is just, I think that's not great. Another technique family groomers would use are subtle word curses to make a person feel less than. It can really tear down a child's self-esteem, and they, as your self-esteem is being torn down, the person will often not look for a way out. The child will subconsciously agree that he or she is bad, unworthy of things, unworthy of life, friendships, and so on. So they can become like that elephant, that story of that elephant that's, tied down by a little chain, and it's, doesn't know the strength of its power, that it can get away because it was chained to the little pole as a baby elephant. So it grows up thinking as a large elephant, it can't get away. So here's what the Bible says about harming children in Luke 17:2, according to the New Living Translation. It would be better to be thrown into the sea with a millstone hung around your neck than to cause one of these little ones to fall into sin. So this is what, these people do, is they have children fall into sin. It creates generational trauma and iniquity in the generational line, and people need to know how to get free and do renunciations of everything that's done, because we know that the iniquity of our fathers visits the third and fourth generation according to the Bible. So I hope this message helps you in some way. It's never easy to talk about these things, but I think it's important to share them, and God bless you.